All right, today we are jumping head first into one of the wildest, most poetic, and honestly, most challenging works in all of philosophy, Friedrich Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra. And look, this thing isn't just a book. It's more like a philosophical atom bomb designed to completely reshape how you think about life, morality, and your own potential. So let's get into it.
So Zarathustra's whole journey kicks off with maybe the most famous and misunderstood line in philosophy. Now, it's super easy to hear this and think it's some kind of victory lap for atheism. But for Nietzsche, it was something much, much bigger, and frankly, a lot more troubling.
See, this isn't a celebration. It's a diagnosis. Nietzsche is acting like a doctor for society, and his diagnosis is this. The religious and moral foundations that have held up Western civilization for centuries, they've crumbled. They just don't work anymore. And this has left a massive, gaping void right in the center of our culture. That is the problem Zarathustra comes down from his mountain to solve. So, if that's the world-shaking diagnosis, who exactly is the messenger delivering the news? Well, let's meet the prophet Nietzsche cooked up just for this job, Zarathustra.
Now, Nietzsche bases this character on the real ancient Persian prophet Zoroaster, but he gives him a total reboot for the modern world. Imagine this, after 10 years completely alone on a mountain just thinking, this new Zarathustra is so overflowing with wisdom, he feels like he's going to burst. So he has to come down and share it. But he's not coming down with charts and graphs. No, he speaks in these powerful, strange parables and poems, basically daring everyone he meets to throw out their old, comfy beliefs.
Okay, so if the old values are dead, what's supposed to replace them? What do we do now? This question brings us right to Nietzsche's proposed answer and probably his most famous and definitely most controversial idea, the Übermensch.
The Übermensch, or overman. Now, it is absolutely crucial to get this right. This has nothing to do with being physically stronger or dominating other people. That's a total misreading. It's all about spiritual and creative power. The Übermensch is the person who has the guts to smash their own limitations, to reject the pressure to conform, and to actually create their own meaning in a world that offers none.
So, Nietzsche basically presents us with a choice, a fork in the road. On one side, you have the herd. It's safe, it's comfortable, you just follow the rules and do what everyone else is doing. On the other side, you have the Übermensch. This is the creator, the individual who lives authentically by forging their very own path. It's a call to action. Become a creator, not just another face in the crowd.
And this, right here, gets to the heart of the whole attitude. It's not about trying to have an easy, painless life. Far from it. It's about being able to look at everything life throws at you, the joy, the suffering, the beauty, the ugliness, and say a profound yes to all of it. Why? Because it's all seen as essential fuel for growth, for overcoming yourself and becoming something more. Okay, so that sounds pretty intense, right? How does a person even begin a journey like that? Well, Nietzsche doesn't just leave us hanging. He gives us some powerful philosophical tools to help us forge this new path.
Zarathustra's path really boils down to three huge ideas. You start by understanding a fundamental drive inside all of us. Then, you have to face a truly terrifying thought experiment. And finally, you make that decisive break from the comfort of the crowd.
First up is the will to power. And let me just say this again because it's so important. This is not about dominating other people. The way Nietzsche saw it, the will to power is the basic drive in everything alive, from a plant reaching for sunlight to you wanting to master a new skill. It's that inner push to grow, to get stronger, to overcome obstacles, and to strive for something greater. It's the engine of all creativity.
And that drive leads us to his most profound challenge, a thought experiment he called eternal recurrence. And I really want you to sit with this for a second. Imagine that every single moment of your life, every victory, every embarrassing failure, every bit of joy, every boring Tuesday afternoon, you would have to relive it exactly the same way, an infinite number of times, forever. How does that idea make you feel? Be honest. Would you just collapse in horror, seeing it as the worst curse imaginable? Or could you look at your life and say, yes, I would embrace that? See, this isn't a physics theory. It's a psychological test. It's the ultimate challenge to live so fully, so authentically, that you would gladly choose to live your life on repeat. It forces you to take total ownership of every single choice you make.
So when you put all of these pieces together, you have the death of the old values, you have this new ideal of the Übermensch, and you have the gut check of eternal recurrence. This is where you arrive at Zarathustra's final, thunderous message.
Here's the bottom line. Nietzsche is not giving you a new set of rules. He's telling you the rulebook has been thrown in the fire. Life does not come with an instruction manual. It has no built-in purpose. It is a blank canvas. And the awesome and kind of terrifying responsibility of painting something meaningful on it, well, that falls squarely on you. And this is exactly why Zarathustra is such a radical work of philosophy. It's not a new religion. It's not a new dogma to follow. In fact, the book itself warns you against becoming a disciple of Zarathustra. Nietzsche's goal was never to get people to believe in him. It was to inspire people to believe in themselves, to become creators of their own lives and their own values.
And so, this entire journey, this whole book, it really leaves us with just one final question. It's a question that echoes the challenge of the Übermensch and the test of eternal recurrence. In a world with no easy answers, are you ready to embrace it all, the struggle and the joy, and create a life so full, so authentic that you'd be happy to live it again and again? Are you ready to say yes?